Hello, this is Senator Gene Yaw. Today, we have a behind-the-scenes exciting tour of the Sun Area Technical Institute located in New Berlin, Pennsylvania. So please stay tuned for this edition of a conversation with Senator Gene Yaw. I'm here with Jennifer Hain, the Administrative Director of the Sun Area Technical Institute. Greetings, nice to be here, thank you. And we're in this shop, and can you explain where we're going to start our tour?
We'd be happy to do that. Senator, today we're starting in our precision machine program. We currently had 19 students in this program this year. It's a highly popular program. Also a lot of jobs in our local community for the machining students. Keystone Forging is one of our local employers as well that's always looking for students to gain employment with them in the forging industry, along with many others.
Tell me a little bit about the background of the Sun Area Technical Institute.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, we're Snyder, Union, Northumberland counties. We serve Lewisburg School District, Mifflinburg, Midwest, Selinsgrove, and Shikellamy districts. Students also, believe it or not, attend from out of East Juniata, and we also get some from Milton and Warrior Run.
What's the mission, or what do you hope to accomplish? What type of education do you want to see students get here?
Technical career and tech education is definitely our primary goal here at the school, meeting students' needs for high priority occupation skills and community needs as well for employers. So that's definitely a priority with our high program study of task lists that they complete here at the school, and also industry certifications that our students earn, and college credits, as we discussed earlier.
I guess, what grades do you serve, and how many students do you have?
We have roughly, we started around from 280, can go down to about 230. In enrollment here at the school, we serve predominantly seniors in our programs. There are some juniors that do attend the programs as well, but we're predominantly a senior only, a very intense year, so students coming into our school, no attendance, performance on their skills to earn those certifications at the end of the school year, and those college credits is really important.
Now, the students that come here, they still have to complete their normal high school courses as well as whatever's here.
Each district's a little bit differently. Most of the districts have their high school graduation credits complete prior to attending Sun-Tech. Some districts do need to complete maybe a math or English credit prior to finishing the year with us, so they'll do those classes in the morning. Some have done them online, so our students sometimes are doing a double curriculum. The only academic course that we offer here currently is math, so students can take a math credit needed for high school graduation, or we do have students that maybe want trigonometry, a higher math in preparation for college, and we offer those classes as well.
And you may have mentioned this, but how many high schools do you serve?
We serve five. With outlying districts do have an option to send students here, but we have 5 member districts that belong to the school.
Change class.
Yep, time to move to the next one. And that's kind of interesting. As students here, you hear the bells. Our bells is predominantly for our math program. What you see here with the students in the classroom, they are really here the entire time. So it's almost like going to work. So it makes the typical high school experience a bit different for these students than what they've experienced before. They come in the morning, it's just like going to a job, and they're here on task anywhere from 2:20 to 2:45. So the gentleman in this class, I'm sure, would agree with me here that it's like going to work every day, and it's not like the typical classroom.
What are you making here? What are you doing?
Right now we're making a sprocket gear for a bicycle. It's in the process of being machined. We're machining out the teeth right now.
So that's what you're making in there?
Yes.
And this part was designed by your class on the computer design, so it starts from scratch to the design completed process to actually fabricating it.
Where do you go to high school?
Mifflinburg, Lewisburg.
What do you hope to do when you leave or get out of high school?
I like to go to Penn Tech in a manufacturing engineering program and pretty much find a job around here or maybe out west, engineering parts for a big company.
And what do you plan?
Probably go to college for business and wrestle, and then like try machining business. And since I'm a junior, I'll come back next year for welding and like tie those all together and try to make my own business and maybe go underwater welding.
Underwater welding.
Yeah.
My understanding is that's a very lucrative profession. What else have you made? You have some examples here.
Made meat tenderizers, screws.
Did you make this here?
Yeah.
Now explain, there's a little bit more to this process with the meat tenderizer, because it might seem like an odd project for someone to make, but I believe there's a lot of skill requirements maybe for NIMS that's in this project.
We made the teeth with a horizontal mill. Pretty much we grooved out the inside of the inserts. Then we threaded out the threads. Then we turned this whole piece down on a manual lathe, knurled it, put a thread on it so it could insert into the head.
So this is a challenging project. I know sometimes it seems a little odd item to make, but has a
Now,
lot
do you
of
ever
skills
use
in
this?
it.
Does it really work?
I haven't used mine yet. There's a couple kids making arbor presses. You want to explain a little more about that?
What we did here is actually 11 different parts. There was 3 kids that made it, and I think it was 10 days. But every part that you see here, we have machined. So I mean, there's a gear in here that runs us back and forth down here where we have to do on the horizontal mill, and then this rotates, and then you can basically press pins or whatever. This right here is actually an engine. It's a vacuum engine where you have a flame here, and then you run it back and forth, and it creates a suction and a vacuum that keeps it going.
And where do you go to high school?
I go to Selinsgrove High School.
And what do you want to do when you graduate?
I'm actually enrolled into Penn College for next year. I'm doing a 4-year manufacturing engineering technology. So after my 4 years, I hopefully to be able to get a job within the Susquehanna Valley.
So you plan on getting a 4-year bachelor's degree? Good luck to all of you.
This is our welding technology program here. See the gentlemen here are starting to work on bending one of their fire ring designs.
Oh, wow.
So they first begin by designing the template, similar to what we saw in machine technology. They use the software to create any type of design that the client might want. What we did is a fundraiser for our 501c Sun-Tech Foundation.
Yeah.
We started making fundraisers within each of the programs to help raise money for scholarships for the students. So this is an order, a customized order that they have gotten from one of the customers. So eventually we hope to get it up on our website so anyone in the community can order a customized fire ring. So the boys worked on designs this year to make some standard designs and then also allow for custom work as well.
Yeah.
So I think they have 8 of them to fabricate today. Senator, this is our collision repair program. As you see here today, students work on cars that are brought in by faculty members here at the school. They also work on school cars as well that we purchase and refurbish here at the school. Sometimes they're their own, so you'll see various components around the program. They do work on other items brought in from the community as well. Not so much cars, but small projects. So this year they did some signage for the Boy Scouts camp here locally as well and worked with welding to complete those signs for the camp. Mr. Gunther is our collision teacher. I don't know if there's anything in particular that you'd like to share with
Gene
the
Yaw.
Senator today.
Hi, nice to meet you.
First of all, thank you for coming to see our school. You can see we're trying to wind things down here at the end of the year.
I hear. Yeah.
Any support is appreciated. We enjoy doing that. That's why we're here. But thank you.
Well,
And do you have any questions for me? Well,
no, I just, you tell me about your operation here.
okay. Basically, what we do is
I'm basically a motorhead, so you know.
Well, and he had asked about the ties in. I talked a little bit about Roy Klinger about the ties
Yes.
with the collision department at Penn College.
Yes. Have you ever been to Penn College?
Yeah, I happen to be the chairman of the board at Penn College.
Oh, well,
so, yeah.
then you've been there often.
Yeah.
What we have is what's called the Penn College Now program.
Yep.
So the students here earn 5 college credits with our articulation agreement with them. The textbook we use is also written by Al Thomas. If you've been there for a while, you realize Al Thomas just retired last year. Phenomenal individual. Roy Klinger is very supportive of our group also, one of the instructors up there. He comes in and helps us with testing and our NOCI exam at the end of every year. But basically here what we do is bring in vehicles that are wrecked, do the repairs to, and refinish them. So we do a little bit of everything in here.
Well, I'm a big advocate and believer in vocational education and people that work with their hands and produce something. So I'm glad to hear that, you know, we're taking high school kids and getting them into that arena and then giving them the opportunity to go on and get an advanced degree if that's what they want to do.
Right, and like I said, the hands-on experience here is just, you can't compare it to sitting at a desk all day. So that's where they really learn. I mean, granted, we have a half-hour theory in our room behind me every day, but most of the time they're out here on the floor working, touching cars, painting, whatever they need.
Well, I think it's a great program.
Yeah.
Where are we now?
We are in our diesel and truck technology program. So as you see now, they only have 2 trucks in the bay. Normally we have 5 in here. So this is one of our programs we're looking to move over to our new facility and give them a bit more room. We'll be looking more at a 8 to 9 truck bay facility over there. As you see, this is also both male and females in this class. So we do have non-traditional students in this particular program. Again, working on all the larger engine components. If you were to come here a little bit earlier in the year, the trucks would have been out and all you would have seen is the engines on the floor. So the students actually take the engines apart and put them completely back together again. So they do some amazing work in here as well. Some of our students want to get into CDL. Students in this program are also out in the workforce working for a few of the trucking companies locally as well, doing repairs. So we had recently met with Susquehanna Motor up in Milton, and I think they have 90 plus years of experience of Sun-Tech graduates working for their company over there. So it's amazing what we find out in the community locally with the skills that we're taught here in this building and now out serving our communities.
Do you have to buy the equipment here that like the trucks and stuff, or do you get them donated?
I don't know, being new on board, if how many of them might have been donated, but I know Mr. Knighting is looking to get a new truck on this year through Perkins money that's given to CTE. We have a truck currently for the next 2 years on that list to purchase. So there is opportunities from time to time to get donations. But
it's one of the things that people don't understand about vocational education is you have to buy the major pieces of equipment. It's not like buying a textbook.
that is true.
If you're going to work on a truck, you need a truck.
And you might be looking at something that costs $40,000
A minimum. Yeah.
just to get one. So that is a big change from our academic curriculum that's offered.
What's this called? A cosmetology lab, or what do you?
Clinic. We usually say clinic because on Thursdays and Fridays from September to May, middle of May, we have an open clinic here where we do salon services for the public and the students do the work. So I always say once school gets up and running, we have 3 days a week we're in the classroom and 2 days a week we're running a business. So we're usually pretty busy. We've done, this year we did a little over $5,000 worth of business, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we only charge $2 for a haircut. So, that's a lot of people. So we charge a minimal amount of money for our supplies, but it helps us to regenerate our supplies so that we can continue to train through the year.
On the average, in a week, how many members of the public come through here?
I would say on average, this year may have been a little lower, I think, because of the weather in the winter. But I would say on average, we probably do 30 people a week outside, and sometimes 50. So it depends on if,
Well, that's great contact, though, between the school and the general public.
Right. So we have.
And I'm sure they tell you things you do wrong, right?
Well, once in a while. Once in a while.
Or right?
Or right.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of really regular clients who are great with the kids and understand that they're learning. And, sometimes we get someone in new, but a lot of it's repeat business. So that a lot of people here in New Berlin, they come and get their hair done and then eat in the restaurant or vice versa.
Okay.
So they make a day of it.
Okay.
So it's all great. it's all
Show
good
us
for-
what
Crystal,
you
why
have
don't you
here.
share a little about your wig project as well, because I think that's interesting here at the school with cancer
All right.
patients.
Well, I'll say a little bit about the students. They're just working on some activities that they needed to finish up for the year. We don't work on each other a lot, but we do work on mannequins so that they're not using each other's time up so much, but there are times that we need to do an activity on each other when we're not servicing the public. So today they're just doing a styling activity that they need to finish up before the year ends. But besides working with the public on a variety of services, we do have a wig project here. We provide...
What's the wig project?
Well, we provide free cancer
Yeah, okay.
wigs to cancer patients, and the students really fund the project, so we raise money, and then when a cancer patient contacts us, which we're on the contact list for the American Cancer Society, they would come in and then we would do a measurement, and the patient would actually pick out a wig that they wanted from a catalog, and then we will order it for them, and then when they come back in we fit it, and if we need to trim it or do any changes to it, we can do that for them. We also would service them if they wanted us to care for the wig in the interim while they're wearing
That's
the
a great
wig,
public
so-
service.
So, yeah, it's just a good community service project because it connects with what they're doing. So like each year I do a kind of a training session with the students on how to do the wigs, how to deal with the cancer patient, the emotional part of it, as well as the physical part of actually doing the hair. So.
In addition to hair, what else do you do?
Well, we do skin care and nail care. Today, we just have a couple girls working on a nail care service, but in Pennsylvania, if they get a cosmetology license, they can work in hair salons, nail salons, or skin care salons. And these high school students are actually almost all of them have passed the licensing exam, and they're just waiting for their physical license to come in the mail. So they've changed some of the state standards this year, so that is kind of unique. That normally wouldn't have happened until after graduation.
Okay.
But we have one girl that takes tomorrow, and then another one that has to take yet, but 12 of them have passed the licensing exam. So they don't have to go on for any further training unless they would choose to. They can start working in a salon as soon as they graduate from high school. And or if they want to go to college, they don't really miss a beat with it. They can do this. I have one young lady back here who's gone on to college and probably wants to hook up with this in health careers, maybe work in a dermatologist's office at some point in time.
How many students in this program?
15 this year.
Okay.
So I've had as many over the years as 23, and I would say on average the 15 is probably my average size class, 15 to 16 over the years that I've been here. So, and it's pretty easy to place them. They're hairdressing jobs out there. It's a big turnover, so you know it seems easy to place. In fact, 4 of them have jobs, and one's going for a job interview tonight. So yeah, you know it's all good. It's a good first career. Even if they make a mind change later on, I think it gets them out in the workforce. It's a people-oriented career, so it kind of fits in with other things that they might do in their future. But
Well,
it's all good.
thank you for taking the time
Thank
to
you.
explain what goes
Yeah,
on.
nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
I hope you're seeing a lot of great things here
We
at
have.
Sun-Tech because it's a great school.
Senator, this is our health careers program. We have 2 of these programs. The need was so great that we actually opened 2 programs. They both follow the same curriculum here at the school. So we'll talk a little bit with the students.
All right, so
What do you have to show us?
well, like you can see now, it's end of the year cleaning. We have a lot of things and skills that we learn over the year, so it takes a lot of work and maintenance to keep up. Right now we have some of the girls making the beds, taking out wrinkles, and doing what we can to keep this looking nice here. We also have some cleaning going on in the cabinets. We just got all new supplies for next year for the students that are coming up. And so we're just pretty much organizing, getting everything ready for next year for them. Yes, and one of the things that we did do this year, we were participated in HOSA, which is the Health Occupation Students of America competition.
Okay.
I was one of the ones that went. I went for prepared speaking, and there were also, I think, 3 or 4 other ones in this classroom that had went. A lot of us placed very high in where we should have been, and that was a great accomplishment for all of us.
Where was that?
It was in Lancaster.
Okay.
So we traveled to Lancaster for 3 days. We did 3-day competitions, and we participated in banquets and ceremonies that they had going on there. And we got to represent Sun-Tech for the health occupations.
Okay. What else has gone on here? What are they doing?
Right now, you can see Kayla's folding beds and doing them hospital style. So what that means is just preparing them so that they're ready for a new patient to come in. And so they're going to take out all of the wrinkles, and this is one of the skills that we actually have to compete in. So they're taking out all wrinkles, they're doing the hospital corners on the ends of the bed, they're making sure the pillows are tucked and that it looks appropriate for the next patient to come in.
Katie, do you make your bed like this at home?
I do not make my bed like this at home. Unfortunately, I'm not as clean.
What's the purpose of taking all of the wrinkles out?
So that it helps the patient be more comfortable, it helps the facility keep up their image and keeping them looking nice, and it keeps it keeps the patient a little more comfortable while they're here.
Reminds me of a military bed when
Yes.
you just have to bounce a quarter on it.
These would be our patients or residents that we take care of and we do our skills on that we learn. We have to make sure that they are kept just as well as actual humans would be here. Mm-hmm. So we treat them just as if we would treat our patients or our residents.
Are they named?
Some of them we had named for our CNA tests. We had to have names on them. But we actually took those down for the end of the year. We'll let next year name them.
Okay.
But you can see we have lifts here. One of the skills that we learn here is called the Vera lift. And it'll help the patient who is immobile and can't get out of bed on their own. Mm. It helps lift the patient out of bed, and then we can transfer them to wherever they need to go, such as a wheelchair or to a separate chair or a couch or recliner.
Are these mannequins interactive?
These ones that are laying here are not. We do have one mannequin, which is him over here,
okay,
who actually is interactive. You can charge him, put batteries in him, and he will do everything as if a regular person would do other than move himself. So we would still be in charge of doing that, but he is actually our prized possession we got there.
How many, what are you going to do when you graduate?
I'm attending Wilkes University in the fall for my RN.
4-year program?
Yes, I'll be getting my bachelor's in nursing.
Okay.
So.
Very good.
Very excited for it. I plan on specializing in emergency technician, so I'll be working in an emergency room at some point.
Who else? Somebody else wanted to do trauma?
Yes, Brooke.
You know, what are you teaching here?
Well, here you get a lot of the basic stuff that you need, even for me to take my nursing classes. Mm-hmm. I will have a lot of the classes here and skills here that I have learned that I will also need in college. So this program helps me take a step forward and helps me learn all of my skills and the basic things so that I'm prepared when I go to college to know that stuff and to be able or be equipped to do that.
You're right here at the Epics. We're not putting it up today because of this. Yeah, okay. But tomorrow we're supposed to have like 5 mile an hour southwest or southwest. So that'll almost be perfect to put this thing up then. Okay. And most of it.
I ask, is this going to be on net metering?
Net metering.
Yeah, are you going to sell electricity that it generates?
No, not immediately. So go feeding back into the grid.
Yeah.
Not right away anyhow.
Oh, okay.
Because we need to we have to integrate with the power company to stay in phase. This is kind of like phase 1.
Okay.
What we're doing is generating DC, and then this is the plan. I don't know if Mrs. Hain had told you to do a lot of DC lighting on our new building down there. Mm-hmm. So what we generate here, we're hoping that we can do a good bit of the exterior lighting, and then we wanted to run a little marquee board here too. Mm-hmm. And the thing of it is, we're just going to have to take some data, okay, and then figure out what we're generating, and then we can plan the usage after that. And the students, the way they'll be involved with a lot of this is, number one, putting it up. We got guys working over there, and we got guys here. But then we're going to be monitoring weather conditions, trending weather conditions, and then seeing what we generate, and then trending all that data. So it'll be a daily monitoring. It'll be a daily involvement of 2 to 3 students a day, something like that. This is actually generating 3-phase AC. Okay. And then we're rectifying and converting it into 48 volt DC, and then that's our storage. And then
how are you going to store it?
Batteries. Deep cell batteries, and we should have, I think, a pretty good capacity there. And then we can also invert it back into AC. We have inverters to go back to 120. Okay, but again, we're kind of phase one. Okay, let's get it up. Let's see what we can generate, what we can do, how much energy we get, and then we can kind of plan usage based on what we have. Okay.
Very good.
That's the plan anyway.
That's the plan.
And we're hoping. Actually, tremendous teamwork. I mean, I'm sitting here doing a lot of the talking, but these guys here, Mr. Reichendorfer.
It really has been team. It's been carpentry, building the
Mr. Seamus,
the house to house the batteries, up to electrical, doing the wiring for us. So it's been another team project here.
It's very interesting.
Ronnie Mapes, okay.
Maintenance has had a big component as well.
Mr. Katarski in the welding.
Welding, jumped in and
he's
built
involved.
some pieces for the base.
What have you guys learned about it?
It's a lot of work to put up a windmill.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much for being a host here today. And I know you have a lot of programs here. We didn't get to see all of them. We had a snapshot of what this institution does. The enthusiasm of the students is pretty amazing, and excited, bright kids going on to have jobs.
We're pretty proud of our facility here at Sun-Tech, our staff, our students that come on board, the communities that support us, and we appreciate so much you taking the time to spend the day with us and welcome you back to play with some of our equipment that we have on board here. It definitely does draw you in once you start seeing
we'll come
what's
back
going
to
on.
play. That's, you promised that I'd get a chance to play with some of these things, and I'll take you on in the painting contest.
Perfect, sounds good. You see here behind us we have contributors to the school, and we're thankful for the support that we get from those individuals. So we have a tree to honor those individuals that do give donations to the school, support the student scholarships programs here at the school, along with funding that we get through Perkins here. A lot of the equipment that you saw in our facility today is really purchased through those state funds. It really helps us keep on top of the ever-changing technology and industry, and that's ever so important.
Well, as we talked about, for technical education, you actually have to have the equipment, and books are fine, but to buy the equipment that you really need is very expensive, and I think that a lot of people don't understand that, and that's one of the I guess it's a curse and a blessing for technical education. You have to have the equipment to be able to work on it and learn how it works.
Sure, and I think those rewards pay off in our communities, and the skilled technicians that graduate from this facility bring jobs, fill those positions in our local employers in the area, and make good citizens in our community. So again, I thank you for your support.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.